Okay, welcome back. I just finished Variation, can you see that? By Rebecca Yarros. I rated this a 3-star. It was really good, but I am a very, very harsh rater. So how most people, if they enjoy the book, they just immediately rate it a 4-star. Not gonna happen. Sorry. And I also don't do like half stars. I don't do like the 3.5, 3.75. If that's a rating system that works for you, that's great. I stick to complete stars. So 3 stars. Still really good. I did really enjoy this book. I personally did not get obsessive over this book. There were points where my jaw dropped. There were specific things that I did highlight and I liked. But for me, and this is my tiny little bookshelf, this is all we have. Yes, I did read the entire Throne of Glass series. I don't think anybody wants to hear what I thought about that series, honestly. I have yet to read Court of Thorns and Roses, but I do have her on my TBR. And as you can see, I do have another Rebecca Yarros book, Fourth Wing. I do plan to read both of these at some point or another. Just today is not the day. Also, you can see I have my Game of Thrones series down here, but one book is missing. I will get into that later. This is my first Rebecca Yarros book. I got this because I got an email from, what is it called? Kindle Unlimited? Saying that like, oh, $3 off. I'm pretty sure this is just a Kindle Unlimited book. I mean, I was able to listen to the audiobook and this, which is what I did basically. I was reading this by itself for about 30% through, and I have reading disability, so I have a really hard time reading, and it's a lot easier for me to listen to a book or immersive read a book because then I don't have to go back and reread things, because I will read the pages but not comprehend what I'm reading. But nonetheless, this is basically my TBR shelf. This is all I really have. I hope we're not slanted. Is this? I can't tell if it's slanted or not, but I'm gonna bring you just a little bit closer so you can mainly see this. You're not really gonna see me very much or at all. Hi, Nana. She's behind the camera. You wanna come say hi? You can come say hi. This is my little Miss Luna. She's just exploring. But I kind of wanted to go through my read and to be read and all of that. Just go through my little bookshelf because I feel like there's a lot of overconsumption on this app. Miss Luna, leave it alone. She's trying to mess with the little tripod I have. Come here. I feel like there's a lot of overconsumption on the app, YouTube, where I plan to post this. And I kind of want to show that, like, you don't need a lot of books, number one. And number two, read the books that, oh, thanks, Miss Luna. Read the books that you already have. So I took some of these books off of my mother's shelf. Some of these books she has read over the years. Some of these books, I wonder if, does the light does nothing. I wanted to see if we could choose a book off of my bookshelf. Set you up a little bit better, Casey. Not only to choose a book off of my bookshelf, but these are also, back when I was a child, these were books that, like, I'd go to the book fair and get and then never read because I was a child that liked basically collecting books but not reading them. Now that I am an adult and I do really enjoy reading, I want to see if my childhood mind did enjoy or was right about any of these books. So far I have read all the way up until right here. So we have one of the very first books that I read as a kid, Binge by Tyler Oakley. This one really did help me with my eating disorder as a child. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but it's the reality a lot of us go through. So this was good at the time. I was a big Tyler Oakley fan. There were pictures, and it's the gay chapter. Something that I do occasionally think about a little bit, but really it was good for the time that I read it. And then we have, and I didn't do star ratings on these because I was too young. I didn't have a Goodreads. Binge, looking back, at the time I probably would have given it a 3-star. Now I would give it 2. But then again, I haven't read it in a while, and I don't plan on rereading it. Probably going to end up donating that, honestly, because I think it would be better for somebody else to hopefully read and learn from. Good Girl, Bad Girl. This was probably one of like my first thrillers that I ever read. Basically, from what I kind of remember, it is like more of true crime, as it says in the first sentence, true crime. I hate these freaking stickers, but it basically was revolved around a girl and like some sort of murder or whatever. Did not see it coming. The ending, it is a really good read. As of right now, from what I can remember, I would give it a 2-star because it clearly hasn't stuck. At the time, I probably would have given it like a 3 or 4-star. It was still not a 4-star, definitely like a 3-star. And then the arrangement, I still do think about this every once in a while. This one was about a girl who's in college, and she is struggling to afford rent and money. Yeah, it's just, she's struggling, and she ends up finding a guy that is really rich on, I think, an app where she's going on like these dates, like sugar baby kind of a thing. So that's what this is about. It gives like, I'm trying to think of what it would be. It gives like mistress kind of a thing, because he is married, as most of these sugar baby things go, but still a very good book. This one, the arrangement, I would give probably a 3-star. Looking for Alaska, this I hate when they do these little like half whatever. I would recommend everybody to read this. This is still a beautiful, beautiful book. Like even just like this first little bit, this is all I'm gonna give you. First drink, first prank, first friend, first love, last words. Very grief heavy, so I don't know if you would cry. I didn't cry in this one, but that's because I knew what was gonna happen, and it does happen halfway through the book. So it's not like, at the very end you're gonna be sobbing. No, you're gonna be sobbing halfway through the book. And I'm not spoiling it for nobody, but it's Looking for Alaska. I don't know if I said that. Looking for Alaska by, John Green. I didn't know it was John Green. This John Green? I didn't know that. Hilarious. Again, this is what happens when you read as a child and not now. All the Bright Places. This is now a movie, I did read this and then watch the movie. Super cute. Did enjoy this. Reason I read it was because somebody said that this was their favorite book. They've read it over and over and over and over and over again. I can't blame you. This is a beautifully written book. Definitely more focused on, again, grief and depression, and this is going to be a hard hitter, but still a beautiful, beautiful read. Definitely recommend it. But I read that quite young. I'd probably give both of these 3 stars. Again, I am a harsh rater. It doesn't mean that it's not a good book. Most people's 4 stars are my 3 stars. And I have that specifically for a reason. This, however, I would rate a 4 star. The reason this gets a 4 star is because this, I mean, I only did a few places. This is in the format of poems, but it is about, I think it's 3 different kids that are all struggling with mental illnesses, going through life, trying to navigate life. They're also in mental institutions. I wouldn't say mental, a mental health hospital, right? I don't even want to say anything else. Read this. I read this as a kid, and I did my whole, I'm reading the words but not understanding the book. I reread it again as an adult. Unfortunately, has had some love because I was not nice to books as a child. Wow, this one ending hits you hard. I did tear up with this one, but it's something that I will never fully forget. And I think this is important for a lot of people that either have been in mental hospitals or people that themselves, like I have, thought about, okay, well, should I go to a mental hospital? Is this mental illness that I'm dealing with enough for me to be worried about that? Highly recommend, 4 stars. This is another series that I think about all the time. This is the 2nd book. I gave the 1st book back to my grandma before she died. It's The Lost Boy, Dave Pleasure. A lot of people say that he lied about all of this. I don't know how anybody would be able to think about the things or make up the things that happen in these books. This would have to be, I want to say, a 5 star. I hate to give such a gruesome story a 5 star, but this was one of the only books, series that I had continued to read as a child and that got me into reading or started to, and I just remember being so distraught. I can't believe I read this as a child. I can't believe my grandma gave me these books as a child. She got these from the DI. The first one is A Boy Called It. And I think that kind of gives you a good idea of what this book is going to be about. Very abuse heavy, very heart-wrenching, prepared to bawl your eyes out. I used to, like I said, I have a reading disability. I used to sit with someone to read these books, right? They'd sit with me and I'd have to read it out loud to them. And this was one of those books, and I think they had either started tearing up or they had like questioned, okay, maybe I think we should read something a little bit more lighthearted during these sessions. But it was during the time that I had a really hard time with reading, and this was something that I remember falling into even though I was reading it out loud, which I don't know if you know, but if you're a reader, reading a book out loud doesn't exactly make you fall in love with it. Let me bring you a little closer. I'm sorry, I'm very tall and this bookshelf is very short. Hopefully you don't fall. Next up, we have Fault in Our Stars. I read this after watching the movie, and this made me realize why everybody says to read the book before you watch the movie. I did not know that this was a book. Again, this movie came out when I was quite young. I'm only 23. Still a very good story. Definitely recommend. Sorry if the lighting is weird. Sun is going down. I just wanted to make this really quick and post it because why not? I mean, I think we all know the story of Fault in Our Stars at this point, but if you don't, again, grief heavy. It was a very sad child. Cancer. Okay, she has cancer. He had cancer, and they navigate life, basically. Now, before y'all hate me, again, I was young. I should not have been as young as I was, but I was young when I read these books. The After series, as you can tell, I am missing the first one. You know who you are. If you ever see this, which I hope you don't, but you know who you are. Give it back, please. This series, Unfortunately, I would give a 5-star only because this is the series that started it all. Yes, all of these books before, even this one when I read it again now, fantastic. This is the series that got me into reading. This is the series that destroyed me, that I could not do anything else other than read. I needed to know what happened. I needed to. I know a lot of people will say Tessa is a pick-me. So was I as a child, unfortunately. So yes, I got the entire series. Unfortunately, for the first one, I do have like the movie adaptation. So it has like Tessa on top of Hardin. Yeah, this took over my life from like 15 to 16. Unfortunately, fell in love. But absolutely loved this series. Hated the covers. I still don't care for the way that they look. I just don't. I like pretty covers, but I was so obsessed I didn't care. I remember after I finished that first, and it's a big book. I was still at the point of just collecting books. It's a big book. But the moment that I finished that, and I ran to the bookstore to get the next and the next, and my mom was just happy to see me actually reading the books that she bought me, because there are many of other ones over here that we will get to that I bought or had her buy and never read. So this was more of a series that I got into as an adult, and it should really go like this. Thankfully, because if my mother let me read this as a child, I don't, no. Let me bring you in real quick. This, no. Priest had me stuck in the bedroom for days. My friends tried to come over and hang out with me and kept getting mad at me for continuing to pull out the book. They're like, okay, well, we need to figure out something that we're gonna do. Like, we want to do something, we want to hang out. Okay. Until you figure that out, I'm gonna read my book. We're at your apartment. Get out of your book. Come on, come hang out with us. When you tell me what we doing, I'll put it down. But until then, I ain't putting this bitch down. This was a 5-star, unfortunately. It is very God heavy, because I believe Sierra Simone is a godly kind of a woman. I don't know, it was just a little godly for me, and I didn't know how to feel. But if you don't know what this is, it's a priest and a woman who comes to confess that doesn't normally go to church, but she starts to kind of because of him. This is the novella After Priest, about the same people, just continuing the story, kind of like an extended epilogue. Good, but it took me longer to read this than it did this. Yes, this baby is warped, unfortunately. She got some water damage. This took me longer than reading this. Should tell you much right there. I'd probably honestly say like 2-star. I didn't like her. Sinner, I liked the premise, because this whole series is about like 3 brothers, and instead of him being a priest, he's like the bad boy. He's like the corporate guy, and girl is about to be a nun. She's literally about to like do the whole ceremony, basically marrying Jesus, right? Because that's what nuns do, I guess. I liked the idea. It was still very good, just not my favorite. Not my favorite. Probably would rate this like 3 stars. Still was good. Just not my favorite. It's just not my favorite. And no, I have not read the 3rd. And no, I don't. I really don't plan to. Unfortunately, I do love me male on male action, but after Sinner, I didn't know if it was gonna get any better. It like seemed like a downhill from Priest, so maybe I'll get into it again, but honestly don't really see it happening. I did read, as you can tell by my little notes, I did read Marie Antoinette. This was in a pack with this book from my book fair. Came with a little necklace. Of course, did I get these because of the books? Totally. No, I got it because I wanted the goddamn necklace. Do I have any idea where the necklace is? I think I gave it to my mother. Surprisingly though, this was actually a really good book. Basically, it was, of course, a little bit more fictional because these are written in the style of journal entries, right? So it was a very easy read. And this was at the very beginning. I think this was the first book that I read this year. I want to say. No, this might have been the second. I don't know. It was one of the first books that I read this year. And I think I gave it like a 3-star. It was really good. I almost DNF'd it at the beginning because I was bored. Because I was like, okay, like, I really just feel like I'm reading a pretentious girl's journal. And I'm not into that. But after a while, clearly it had me hooked. And I did some notating. I did genuinely enjoy this. Not enough to immediately jump into this. I did take a break. It is not fully fiction, but most of the things that she had put into that book was based off of some, I guess, research that she had done. But they are written by 2 different people, as you can see. So Meyer and Lasky. Catherine Lasky and Caroline Meyer. I do plan to read this one probably before the end of the year. Anastasia and Marie Antoinette. So that is where we're cut between, is right here. Read Marie Antoinette, have not read Anastasia. And as I said, I got those from a book fair very young. Also, surprised after reading that they would have that in the book fair. Like, I know it's kind of history driven, but anyways. This book I had gotten, and I always took the covers off the paper, the dust covers. Always ended up taking those off. Got this at a DI. Only because it said, "I'm okay, you're dead." And I liked that it was red and black. I think that looks, I mean, it's not really black. It's almost like a blue. But because of how dark of a blue it is, it kind of gives black. It's by Joyce Spizer, Spizer. No idea really what it's about. I think this is signed. Is this signed? Oh my gosh. Ah! I think that's a printed signature, but counts nonetheless, right? No idea really what it's about. I'm guessing it's like some sort of mystery or thriller. Like, I'm okay, you're dead. But got that purely for aesthetic. This, I found at a 5 and below. And I absolutely love the cover. I mainly got it because the girl that I was with also got one, and I was jealous and I wanted to get one too. This is again more poetry kind of writing. I don't know if it's necessarily a, oh, is that a picture? Oh my gosh, it has pictures. See, I literally haven't touched this. There's pictures. That's so cute. Oh my gosh. But yeah. The Girl and the Goddess, Stories and Poems of Divine Wisdom by Nikita Gill, author of Great Goddesses. Oh, that sounds good. Let her be a little less human, a little more divine. Let her heart armor so it doesn't break as easily as mine. Cute. Haven't read it. I do want to, but I've been flying through books this year, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna read this or wait for next year when I need to pick me up. But this I plan to use kind of to get out of like a reading funk, and right now with me finishing this book, I'm not really in a reading funk. Now this one was trending for a long time. I don't know if I got this necessarily, Is there any tags? Don't see any. I think I might have gotten this at a DI. It was trending for a long time, and now I'm seeing like mixed reviews. Either people hate it or they love it. I have no idea what it's about. Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. Excuse me. I have no idea, but I hate when they do this. I can say that. I hate when they do this. Seems interesting though. This is not really a book to read. I don't know if you know what tarot is, but this is really just explaining of the tarot deck. I do tarot readings for myself just to connect with the universe, feel more grounded, especially when I need a little bit of guidance. I do love my tarot. Highly recommend. Now this part, I know that I did say I got this from my grandma who is gone. Her name was Grandma Honey to all of us kids. So that's what I'm going to continue to call her. And there may be points where I say like more of a is rather than was, just because it makes me feel as though she's still here. Fair warning. But all of these books I was given because she, like, again, I had this persona as a kid of like, oh, I love reading, I love books. I hardly ever read. Clearly, I only read up until here over the years of being a child before I blew through these. Had the right idea, wrong track of mind. These I got from my grandma, and I do want to do a video of me reading my grandma's books, my grandma's taste in books, because she gave me this with me in mind. So to go through those, we have first and foremost Cassidy. I did start to read this as a kid. This was one of like the big scary books it's a biographical novel by Lee Nielsen. And the only thing I do remember is they eat bull testicles. I don't remember anything else. So I do plan to get to this. And then we have the list. This is about a girl that makes a list for, I think like it's her last summer, and she's, I think, wanting to mess around with some surfer boy. It's by Melanie Jacobson. I don't know why my grandma's giving me lovey-dovey stories like that, but okay, Granny. The Real Me by Betty Miles. Again, this is when I was taking dust covers off and throwing them out. I wish I wouldn't have, but I did. This one, she's got a little bit of damage. Most of these books, I am guessing my grandma got from the DI. She was an avid DI shopper. So, this, I know that it's about a girl who ends up taking over, like, this is back when women did not have jobs. I don't even know why. Can you tell? This was back when a lot of women didn't have very many jobs, and I think she took her brother's like paper job or something. That's all I really remember. I didn't get very far into it. It's a very easier, I mean, you can see by the font, it's an easier kind of a read. So this one I could probably get through pretty quick, but again, I kind of want to make it into a whole video of me reading these. I'm just also afraid that once I read them all, I'll miss her more. This one is Hawks Cove by Susan Wilson. Again, took off the cover, and I took off the cover and threw them away before she died, so. This one, I genuinely don't have any idea. There's a little picture. I don't have any idea what this one is about. If you ask, no one could quite remember when he first appeared in Hawks Cove, so I'm guessing it's about a dude. I don't know. I think we all know this cult classic, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I was going to read this, and then I saw that there's this introduction that goes through all of the different, and I was like, okay, wait, am I ready to read a classic? This was at the beginning of the year when I was really getting into reading. Mind you, last year, I only read 11 books, 12 if you count my best friend's book that he's writing. I only read 12 books last year. That's a book a month, right? And so this year I was like, you know what? I'm going to read 2 books at least a month. That's 24 books in the year. Totally doable. I can do that. I'm at 31 books. And it is June 14th. I'm hoping I can get closer to reading classics, but I really need to break through my problem with reading and comprehension. Who bent the foot? Somebody bent the page. You know what? It was probably my grandma. I'm gonna leave that. This is just a notebook. This is not a book. It's a cute notebook, but it is not a book. Now, everything at the very bottom, I mean, like I said, I read all of the Throne of Glass. No, I did not like it. It was okay, but I didn't fall in love with it. It took me a lot of months to finish. I did do the tandem read. That was probably my favorite. No, actually, I lied. Assassin's Blade was actually 100% my favorite. This was my favorite, and I read this first. I know there's a lot of controversy of what to read first. If you like things in chronological order, read this first, then the rest. Then Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows. Do the tandem read, highly recommend. And then Kingdom of Ash. I feel like in those books, I don't know how Sarah J. Maas is as a writer. But in those books, the entire beginning is just filler. The end has all of the action. I don't like that. I don't. I get excited for the ending and then that's it. I know that once I hit 100 pages left in the book, now it's time to pay attention. I don't like that. I want something where it grabs me throughout the entire book. I probably wouldn't like these as much as I did as a kid, let's be honest. But still will hold a special place in my heart. Still think about their relationship from day to day. It's just how it is. My mother had a book. You know what? Let me go grab it. I will be right back. I'm back. This book, as you can tell, she is well loved and old. I even found my mom's old bookmark in it. This is her first husband, and 69, not for what you think it is. It's the year she was born. Nasties. Cool year to be born, though. Falling in love again. It's basically what it sounds like. She'd fallen in love before and was hesitant to fall in love again. It was cute, very traditional. Still had me kicking my feet and giggling, probably like a 2-star, 3-star maybe, but I don't want to give this a 3-star when I gave this a 3-star. You know what I mean? 2-star. This, I started reading, it's John Gray, who has a PhD, goes through relationships. And mind you, this is an old book. This is a book that my mother was given when she married my father. Not her first husband, married my father. Very misogynistic. Could not finish it. I think I got to when a man ignores his family. And that basically explains that when a man ignores his family, it's because he doesn't feel like he has a place, and then he's just struggling so hard with the dynamic of work and no. These are all books that I have not read. Psychology, this psychology book right here is just not. It's not something that you read for fun. It's like if I want, because I'm going into psychology. It's just if I want to. I did read Midnight for Charlie Bone as a kid. Oh, I did. As you've seen in my other videos, I've read Harry Potter. Highly recommend 5 stars for the whole series. Dragon Rider looks good. It looks like an easy, I mean, it's a thick book, relatively thick, but it's easy text. So, seems fun. It does have actually some really cute illustrations, and I love the headers in this. It's so cute. But I just haven't been in the mood for much mystery or like fantasy, mainly because just finished Harry Potter, and I am also currently reading the Game of Thrones series. I will get to that. But Midnight for Charlie Bone. This one is a really cute series, at least from what I can remember. It was a black cat basically helping Charlie Bone realize like he has magical powers, giving Harry Potter from what I can remember. But I just haven't, because I have, what is it? Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, and Book 4. So I do have a series here that I could read. And again, this is a very, take both of these down. This is a very easy read, well-loved book, clearly. Very easy, but I don't know if I want to start a series while in another series. Because I already did that with Game of Thrones and Harry Potter, and I don't want to add a third one to the pile. I'm very specific about finishing the series and the books that I'm in. This one, Return from Tomorrow, is about basically visiting the dying, seeing what comes after dying, and then kind of helping people. Like, it almost sounds like he's converting people to believe in God. I don't know if I'm ever going to read this, if I'm being honest. I'm probably going to put this in my little pile to put back on my mom's bookshelf, because I don't know if I'm ever going to read that. I did read The Boxcar Children as a child. Highly recommend those. This is just the most traditional kind of like mom sitting beside the pool with her book, tanning. Never necessarily, I'm not saying I had that as a kid. I'm just saying that's what it sounds like or what it seems like. And it's even one of those that has like the like postcards in the middle. And don't think that's my address. That's not my address. But I do think it is quite funny. Get 2 for free. Get 2 books for free. But as it says, his enemy's daughter, seduction 1 sense at a time. I'm actually kind of tempted to read this one just because it sounds funny. And then this is another one that I got at a book reading fair. I'm so sorry this video is getting so long. I'm really trying to speed through it, but I'm a talker. Keeping Score, a story about life, faith, and America's favorite pastime, baseball. And Curtis reviews, starred review, a real winner. That's his review. As it says, but again, this is one of those things that it's like, how is my childhood me think about what I would like as reading? And I got this because of the puppy was cute. So I don't know if I'm really gonna like it, read it. I might just try the books, and then if I don't like them, I will DNF. And then we can get rid of them. Another one I got from the book fair. This is, only thing I remember, it is the Children of Gods and Goddesses in high school. It's very cute. Again, more of an easy read. I am tempted to read this actually, so I might set this aside. But we're kind of trying to decide what our next read is kind of what I should have prefaced besides just talking about my TBR. Goddess Girls, Aphrodite the Diva. Cute. I might read that one. These are, not all of them, but mainly these 4, including this one, is saved for Halloween time. So I'm not reading these ones anytime soon. Same with Midnight for Charlie Bone. I think I'm probably going to wait until Halloween time to read those. We'll see though. City of Ghosts, A Haunted Girl, An Adventure Like No Other. Cool. Awesome. Sounds great. By Victoria Schwab. I like going into books not knowing anything, so I don't know anything else about this one. Let me put these back. Oh, my nose. R.L. Schrine's Halloween Night. Oh, this is 2 books in one. Book 1 and 2. It seems like a high school book. Because I see McKinney High dreams about Halloween. Everybody at McKinney High dreams about Halloween. I don't know anything. It's a Halloween book. I'm waiting until October to read this. Halloween time. And then traditional, clearly a very well-loved book in this household. I have not read it. Jurassic Park is best to date, a New York Times. So, we all know the story of Jurassic Park. I was very young when my brothers were watching it. Came into the bedroom they were watching it in. Saw the T-Rex trying to like eat at them or something. I immediately got scared, screamed, and ran away. I was a scaredy cat. So, the only thing I know is that there's dinosaurs. Again, probably Halloween book. Just because I feel like that's Jurassic Park's Halloween. Phantoms, again, very well-loved book. Hello, author at the back. Dean Koontz. Dean Koontz. Don't really know what this is about. Suspense, scary, and stylish. Sounds to me like a Halloween read. However, look at this tiny ass font. And I think, yeah, oh my gosh, Jurassic Park is even worse. Oh my god. Lord save me during Halloween. But this will be my Halloween TBR for the month of October. Probably like September to October. Sorry, I had to think of the months. Yeah. That was me singing the song, not making fun of someone. Relax. That was just me singing the song. That song. Please don't be mad. What the Eyes Don't See. This was a book I got for free from UVU. When I started going to UVU, I know that it's a story about this doctor and just like a story of crisis, resistance, and hope in an American city by Mona Hanna-Atake. I don't want to say it wrong. I'm so sorry if I did. I don't really like reading about people's lives, so that's why this one is unread. Maybe at some point, see, it literally has my... Oh my gosh, this was the book of 21 to 2022. Freshman reading. Wow. Okay, anyways. I might read it at some point, just not in the mood. Lived by, this is the words we live by. This is your annotated guide to the Constitution. I had this for a textbook in a class. This was height of when I was not understanding what I was reading, especially for college. But I think this is really fascinating, especially if you do want to know and understand the Constitution. I do recommend it. I do plan to probably go back through it at some point. If you are ever trying to get textbooks or books for school, I recommend going to I can't even remember what it's called. I don't even think it exists anymore, actually. But there's a bunch of other sellers everywhere to get books. I usually go on Amazon now, but yeah. Highly recommend. Don't get the books new. Get them used. Now these over here, this is a one day at a time. I did end up DNFing this nearing the end because it mainly talks about alcoholism, and it's basically one little thing for every day. Can you see that? So it really talks about alcoholism and basically supporting the people in your life that are addicted to alcohol. It's literally AA. I don't know if you knew what AA stood for, but it's Al-Anon. Not too bad. One day at a time in Al-Anon. I'm guessing this is what AA means. So it's an AA book. I'm sorry, I don't know what is wrong with my nose. Ugh. Anyways, now these 4 books I got from cat hair. I got from Five and Below. I don't know if I will ever really read them. I thought they were so stinking adorable. We have Greek mythology. We have The Art of War. How pretty. The Egyptian Book of the Dead. And the Constitution of the United States of America and other founding documents. This one specifically, I don't know if I will ever read. Mainly because when you look at it, it is such tiny text. There's in Congress, July 4th, 1776, the original document of the Declaration of Independence. And it just kind of goes through that kind of stuff, right? I do think if I'm more in a learning mood, I might jump into these, especially Greek mythology. I do want to get into at some point. It's just very tiny text. So these will be like a long-term read rather than a short-term. Wow, God. But that is pretty much my TBR and the books that I have finished that are on my physical bookshelf. Again, this is mainly to say, read the books you have. For the love of God, stop buying new books and read what you have on your bookshelf. And no, you don't need a big ass bookshelf. I do plan to get a bigger one. But yeah, read the books that you have. Don't go out and have hundreds and hundreds of books on your bookshelf. There's no point. But however, I'm gonna pause this now. I'm gonna actually take this off of my TBR because I am not a godly woman. I'm not a godly woman, if you couldn't tell. Not a godly woman, not anymore. So I am gonna take this off. I just have no will or want to read. I mean, these were too godly for me, and if you've ever read these books, they're not godly. But I am going to pause this just for a second, and I'm going to count. Actually, I'm just gonna count them here. If you want to skip, skip. It's a long ass video. I don't even think anybody's gonna watch this, so. Give me a second. Just 1 second. Anyways, I'm going to count these. I was pausing because I had to text my man. I'm gonna count these, and then I'll come back with how much I have on my physical TBR, and I can tell you right now, it's not gonna be over 100. I still will count these as well. I do think, how do I want to set this up? I might move these here. Move them over. Oh my gosh. So hard to make bookshelves look nice, especially when this is a sad bookshelf. She did not look black before I painted her. That's why it's a shitty ass paint job, why you can see chips, because I did not sand her well enough. As we know, these books are being saved for more of the end of the year. I'm still going to count them in my to be read. If you want to skip. You know what? I won't do that to you. I'll pause it. I'll be right back. There are only 24 unread books. Mind you, I did not count these ones, but even if I did, I DNF'd this one, so I'm not picking it back up. 24 is what I said, right? 25, 26, 27, 28. I did not count these two down here because this is the Words We Live By Annotated Guide to Constitution. That's just not something that you read necessarily. In this, it's like pictures of psychology. Like it's about the professors and different psychologists through the era. That's not something that you read for fun, right? So I didn't count either of those. I did count these because I'm probably going to read these again. This is fall, so this will probably be November. This will be September to October, and then these are just like more education when I want to read more educational or get into Greek mythology, which I do want to at some point. Sorry, it is dusty because I did not read for a long time before this. I just don't know what I want to read. I really don't. I am kind of feeling this. Maybe step my toe into Greek mythology. Is that crazy? Should I do that? I mean, I know that I'll probably finish this pretty quick. Or I might even DNF it. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is gonna be an easy read. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There's like 17 lines on a page. That's not bad. I mean, there's how many pages in here? 277. This will be contender number 1. I am kind of feeling this. I feel like this could also be kind of fun. I don't know. Enemy's Daughter is sounding good too. I'm thinking more this right here. But nonetheless, still probably gonna take some more time to decide. This video is getting way too long, so I guess we won't decide that in this video. However, I am still reading the Game of Thrones series. This is a Clash of Kings. I don't know if you know it, but it's by George R.R. Martin. Yes, this is my little snitch. Like my little snitch. This bookmark came from when my man went to Japan. It's the Nimbus 2000. It's very cute. Absolutely love. Maybe if it'll focus. There we go. I'm currently on Davos, page 111. I am reading the series and watching the show. Highly recommend. Anyways, my man's calling me. I love you guys. Read what you have.